Hello Guardians and welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how we do Glassway as the GM so you can go out there and get your double loot that's going on right now. But even so, even if it's not double loot, this is still an easy way to do it. So as you see here, I'm using the new exotic chest piece because it's really good for this since it can break through the barriers. I am rocking a hand cannon, which you can swap out with something else, a rocket sidearm, and of course Dragon's Breath, all really good for this. I am on prismatic. So basically all you really want is stuff that can stun overload champions and break barriers. So getting right into this, basically right when you go in, right after you get to the first part, you're going to see a barrier champion hiding around the corner here. So you're going to want to make sure you stun him. You can do it immediately, you can wait a little bit after. Doesn't matter, that's going to be your first champion. Once you deal with him, it's pretty easy going here till the end. Like I said, I like Dragon's Breath. It's a really good weapon overall. You see I'm using the hand cannon. I don't always use a hand cannon. If the rest of the team has some stuff that can also do that, I don't use it. But you see this rock here. If you go past this rock early on, at least from what I've noticed, that will spawn the barrier champ. So if you just kind of drop down but don't go past that rock, you can step back and get the overload champion to spawn right here in front of you. Makes it a little bit easier to deal with when he doesn't have a shield. Once he does die, the barrier champion will spawn, or if you go past that, you see him right there, right behind. Makes it a lot easier to do it this way if you just kind of step back there, let the overload come to you, you kind of take him out, and then you worry about the barrier champ. Okay, on to the next area here. This one can be a little tricky. The overload champion will eventually make his way towards you, but the boss is also there and a lot of snipers, so you got to be very careful. We like to stand back in this area here. You see, you stun him here, and there's also another rock here, this structure here. If you happen to go past that before you kill the champion, it will spawn the barrier champ, and again, you don't want the same situation where the barrier champ is helping them out and, you know, giving them a little bit of shield, as you see he does there. Makes it a little bit difficult to kill, you know, a lot of the stuff when they're being shielded, so trying to get them to not spawn as early is a little better. You could even you know, wither down the boss and the overload champion at the same time here, but as long as you kill that overload champion, it makes it a little easier, you know, to deal with everything else. You see, you know, pretty quick work of the boss here. Again, you can take your time with this. You know, we tend to go a little quick. You don't have to do that. It's just, you know, I'm used to playing with these guys, so it makes it a little easier to kind of get a little bit aggressive. Okay, for the next part here, I really like to stun the champion here and then pop my super. I did get sniped there, as you saw, it chunked me, but as long as you don't go up into that cliff area there, you shouldn't spawn the barrier champ again. As I said before, with the barrier champ being there, makes it really difficult to kill things when they're being shielded. So make sure, try to avoid that. He will spawn eventually when you kill the champion. He tends to just kind of spawn, but as long as that champion's dead, it makes it a little bit easier. And again, as to why I brought this exotic chest piece, well, as you'll see here, it's really good for that situation where you need to stun like the barrier, right? Break through the barrier. You see there, it just takes one needle, one well-placed needle, and you break the shield. So that's why I recommend bringing that if you're playing Warlock. But as you're playing any other class, as long as you have anything that breaks shield, you're perfectly fine. I found that prismatic titans are extremely good in this, just because their ability to jolt, they're extremely good towards the end, as you'll see here in a little bit. Okay, so this area here, you just kind of want to make your way through the right side here. I think it's the safest route you can take. The barrier champion will sometimes be there, or he'll spawn in the platform down below. So we got a little lucky there, stunned him and he kind of fell, but he can spawn in that right up here, or he'll be in this platform down in this area here. Just got to be really careful with the snipers here. They will wreck you very easily, even with resists on, so just kind of be careful. I like to go over to this corner here because that's usually where the next champion is, but if he's not there, he's just kind of in the center. If he's in the center, you just got to be a little bit careful, because again, snipers that spawn in the back corner there, extremely dangerous. As you can see, they're shooting at me already, and looks like someone already got hit, and that's right there. So if you stun him here, you got to play really careful. because they will be sitting in that back corner. So as you can see me kind of like peek shooting them, making sure I'm not staying still too long so I don't get destroyed by those snipers, because they will get you, and when they do, it's not pretty. Okay, so again, this platform up here, just be really careful. Next area is a little interesting. You can kind of play this one really safe. You can activate the plate while the enemies spawn and then just back off the plate, kill everything, or you can do it kind of how we did here, where as you can see there, we had 2 warlocks on this run, so he popped his Song of Flame. I put a rift down. We were able to hold off for a while, and then when his goes away, I pop mine. Same process, gets us past this part really easy. And again, if you're having a hard time getting this done, just remember to stop by the channel, twitch.tv/FabledJr. We we tend to do a lot of this stuff here, and if you're looking for people to play with or just want some help, I may be doing some helps for this kind of thing, so just pop on by and step in the channel. Okay, next you see the overload champion here. He usually spawns left to right here. That's pretty basic here. You want to take him out as quick as possible, and then move down into the arena here. Again, this arena is the most dangerous part about this is definitely the snipers. The snipers are relentless here, so you gotta play as best as you can, trying to avoid, getting hit by them. I like to kind of hug walls here, but sometimes that doesn't work, and sometimes it's gonna happen. No matter how hard you try, you are gonna get shot from multiple directions as you're trying to do stuff, and then just get folded like an omelet. It just happens. So don't get too discouraged if you die a couple times on here. Just as long as someone's there, plays it safe, you're good. Again, making use of the exotic there to destroy this barrier champ. He does kind of fall down here sometimes, so make sure if he does, don't play too crazy. If there's still a bunch of snipers, just worry about the snipers, then the champion. Okay, now on to the last room. This is where a lot of runs can get wiped. The first champion here will spawn either left or right. Again, just stun him, kind of deal with them that you can. This is easy part. So as long as you play this room kind of how we do, we play it kind of safe, you shouldn't have too much of a hard time. So first, gonna get the 2 overloads that are gonna spawn in. All right, we're gonna just kind of sit in this area here. As long as you're not too far to the left, too far to the right, they should walk right towards the center here. You see, we just use whatever we have to stun them, take care of them here. This room we found to be a lot easier with a Titan, and you don't have to have a Titan. Entirely up to you. Whatever group you bring in, they're all gonna work. But we found a Titan to be extremely good at handling this. As you can see here, one of them got through. We thought we had killed him, but didn't. So you gotta be careful, make sure they're dead, because one overload can wreck the entire run. So be extremely careful. But just playing in this room is probably your safest bet. So the next wave won't spawn until you take him to half of that health bar you see there. It says the 2 champions have spawned. So I like popping prismatic because it's has stasis. Stasis can stun, as you see both of them are stunned there. Makes it a lot easier to deal with them. Again, all classes have some kind of way to jolt, which is a good way to stun these champions or freeze them. So here's another example. Here's with our Titan, exact same room, right? Exact same situation, but now we have a Titan on our team. So I know Titans may not be the best for single target damage on the new raid, but for something like this, just
for sure, bro.
Boom, just absolutely nukes the whole room. We found that some of our quickest runs actually had a Titan in it, but again, depends on your playstyle, and what characters you like. But you don't need any specific class again to do this. So here's the second wave of enemies again with the Titan, right? Easily taken care of. Just like that, we're gonna be moving on to the next part, which is
Yeah.
Pretty simple again. After you kill the 4 overloads and boss is out of the way, the wyverns will spawn. I like to go over to the left side of the room to take care of them. So sometimes, you know, you'll get them both to go in your direction.
Oh, I see them.
Other times, though, they will not, and you have to. They'll go into the inside here. So if you go left, you'll see them come over to the inside. You gotta deal with them in there, or they can, you know, wreak havoc if they come up behind you. Okay, so
There's that one shot.
next is the champions here. There's 2 barrier champs that spawn with each wave. We found that some of our best runs were with Aeons, as you can see here. Aeons will spawn you some ammo. It's a heavy ammo, right? So just if you want to make it easier, have someone with Aeons. Again, not something you need, but it just does help out with making your runs go a little bit quicker.
Yo, what?
This here
Why is it always me?
is something that can happen to you, so be careful. He may not seem like much, but he actually can kill you.
I died because the boss was over there shooting me in the back.
See, as you see there, the boss there can actually take you out if you're, you know, not paying attention. He can get you. He doesn't do too much, but he can take you out. So be careful.
Yeah, it has to be halfway.
All right. So once you push him all the way, right, then or about halfway. I'm sorry. Once you get him halfway, then the wyverns will come out. Again, they'll come out from the right portal there and the left portal. So make sure to deal with them promptly. After you do deal with them both, there'll be 2 more barrier champions. Once the wyverns are dead, they're like the bigger threat here, so make sure you take them out first, and then you can deal with the barrier champions fairly easy after that. Like sometimes they can get a little, you know, crazy and like kind of have one up top, one down below. As long as you're, you know, playing your angles, you should be fine.
Right on top of you.
You see the boss can sometimes play a little bit of interference, but as long as you're aware of where he's at, you shouldn't be too much of a threat for you.
Yeah, that's not kinetic tremors pushing him
So
back.
once you push him again, next you will get some more overload champions to spawn. So you kind of want to go back into the center room here and wait for them to kind of get a little bit closer. Again, you can deal with them with however way you want. You can see with
Bro, he's killing me
our
with flash
Titan
damage right
here,
now.
made this extremely easy. And as long as you're able to jolt, you know, or just, you know, stun them with weapons, whatever it may be, they go pretty quick. See here, champions are the first 2 are gone.
Those 2 are dead.
Now we need to push the boss over to half HP. Well, here it is without the Titan this time. All right, as you see, we have 2 warlocks, and we do actually have a Titan on this one, but he's just barely got his prismatic, so he doesn't have, you know, the same abilities that, you know, our other one did. But we've also had hunters. As long as you're able to stun here, that's the important part. Right. Now, again, once you push him to a little bit past half HP on that bar there, you'll see Vex reinforcements are inbound. That means 2 more champions coming in. So again, you want to kind of go back into the center here. Don't spread out too far left or right. They'll kind of funnel their way in towards you. Makes it a lot easier to deal with them if you're, you know, not having to worry about where they're coming from, right? They should just kind of walk right up to you. You see they're coming right through the center of the pathway here. The most dangerous part here can actually be the main boss, as you see kind of sneaking up there. If he's kind of there, just move a little bit to the left and right of the doorway, because the splash damage can be extremely dangerous. So here's again another view of it, and you see me go transcendent there, get some stuns and get them suspended, and our Titan take care of them just like that. So now you want to push the boss to the next wave to get some wyverns to spawn. Again, as you can see, Dragon's Breath is something I really like to push the boss here. You just pop a couple of shots and then you know, watch his health kind of melt away without having to have to peek too much, because that boss can be very deadly. Okay, so again, wyverns are spawning here. As you can see, the boss is also spawning here. So you want to kill that one as quickly as possible and then duck inside where the other wyvern would more than likely be. See here, that's exactly where he is. Deal with him promptly. Push, and in order to get the next set, you gotta push this boss here. You want to take him out and it'll spawn the next set. So as you can see here, he is dead. Now that's going to spawn the next set of ads. So in this case, it's going to be 2 more wyverns and 2 more anti-barrier champions. So right now, as you can see, we're not really worrying about the anti-barrier champions. We're dealing more with the wyverns that are spawning here. After they are dead, again, they are the bigger threat here. Then you want to worry about the anti-barrier champions.
Dude did a trick shot, just bank shot and killed me.
So again, dealing with the anti-barrier champs, pretty simple. If you kind of stay near the center room here, they will again kind of funnel towards the center. I mean, they kind of play a little bit on the edges sometimes, as you can see here, and they do tend to teleport, as you can see there, from time to time.
Wait.
But as long as you you know, keep on them, this shouldn't be too bad. So in order to get platinum, I don't think you need to kill all of them, but I like to play on the safe side, so I like to kill all of them. So again, I just kind of stay in the center here. As you can see, they'll just keep kind of funneling, making their way in here. So as soon as you get 4, then, you know, I like to pop my super and then just go at the boss, right? Because Song of Flame is what I like to rock here as a super, as a warlock. It's so much resistance, right? It's 90% I believe, or damage resistance for the user, and like 30 for everybody else. Really good super just in general to have. As you can see there, that is how you can do this GM fairly easy, you know, without too much complications. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Have a good one.
That was 1827, and we made it to the boss later.